to the Rugby Rookie. And today we have the honor of having Tiave Watts with us. Tiave is one of the newest members of Team USA and most recently competed in the Hong Kong Sevens. And this was just a couple months ago now, right?
Yeah, it was the end of April. Yeah, end of April.
Yeah, man. Would you mind giving us a little bit about your journey?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, mine like you said, yeah, I'm Tiave Watts. I was born here in Boise actually, but I grew up in Kansas City for most of my life. Um, Spent about 13 years out there. Started playing rugby when I was in middle school because my sister decided she wanted to transfer to a different school. So at that school's open house, saw that they had a rugby team. I was in eighth grade. Talked to the coach for a little bit, and he invited me out for a practice. After that, he was like, "Yeah, you're." He's like, "I mean, we're only a club team, so you're more than welcome to play with us if you want. Like, that doesn't really matter to me." So I was playing high school when I was in eighth grade, so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, just from there, just kind of took off. I fell in love with the game immediately. Fell in love with everything about it. It just became my lifestyle. So I just kind of centered everything else around it after that.
Yeah, and you were involved with coaching a lot of the kids out that way, and but what did coaching teach you?
I think the coaching taught me that I need to stay away from it for a while. That's one of the biggest thing it taught me. I was like, I need to focus on playing right now. I can coach later. Funny. And it's also funny the different dynamics between because I actually coached the when springtime came around, I coached the Hawaii 15s for the guys. And so
God.
it was really interesting to see, like even Coach Jay Singleton, amazing coach, how different he approaches certain situations with the girls compared to the guys. Because you have to treat it very, very differently because they react very, very differently to feedback. That was really cool to see. It's also cool to see people at that age, like sort of what like when I was starting, and just seeing them slowly fall in love with the game or fall in love with the process. I mean, some of them, obviously, some people fall like they're not too invested into it, but you could definitely tell there's other kids that really, really want to be there. So that's really cool because they're really just there to learn, just like anybody else. But I think another big thing is just geez, if I could go back and coach now, I would do so many things different. But I think that's also just the amount of experience that you have also plays a big role into what you're teaching these other kids. Because
Right.
I didn't know. I thought I was a great rugby player back then, but I didn't know half of the things that I know now when I was coaching Hawaii back in 20, I think it was 2023.
Yep, yep. When you beat us.
Well, there's also another, oh my gosh, something I didn't even realize until really once I got onto the series. So like the last 3 months was
Yeah.
everybody knows what everybody else is doing at that level, which I think is so crazy and so interesting. Like we're scouting New Zealand, we're scouting Australia, we're scouting Kenya, we're doing all the scout for all these teams, and we literally know exactly like all the plays that they do in this situation, and this situation. But it's just like in the terms, but it's like sometimes the plays still work. So it's just at the end of the day, it really comes down to how good the play is and how well the play is executed. Because even if we know it's coming, it can still get us. They can still pull the rug out from under us. So that's I think is also another really really cool thing about rugby. It's just the skill set required to play and recognize and adapt to certain situations as well. Because I mean, like I said, they could know exactly what you're going to do. You could tell them what you're going to do, and you could still get away with it.
I have never even thought about that because I remember when I first learned about the 1-3-3-1 and 15s, I go, oh man, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Well, this team does it, this team does it, and this team does it. And or they'll change up the schemes. And you got to remember me, I'm a rookie at all this stuff. I'm
Mhm.
still learning the game. Just to understand to your point, they really do execute on that pretty pretty well, man. But I never thought of it at the professional level. But when you first discovered that, I mean, what was your thought? Like, there's not a lot of secrets here.
Yeah, well, I thought because I mean, I think the first time I ever realized it was when I was training and we were working on some of our tap penalties. And it's like, I mean, I'm on the team. I know every single tap penalty that we're doing, but it's like we're playing against each other. We're doing 7-on-7. And it's just like sometimes you just kind of get just caught in the moment. You're just like trying to mark the right person, trying to make sure you're doing the right thing. And then one person catches you off guard and then it causes you to slip even a little bit. And then as soon as you slip, a gap opens up and someone's running through it. Especially in sevens, you have to be on your P's and Q's at all times. It's all about one-on-ones and sevens. So it's like,
Would you mind taking us through what you learned at every juncture, and then the experience that led you to becoming a member of Team USA.
I actually wasn't even going to go to Ireland initially. I had just come back from college, was taking a year off because I just wasn't a big fan of the college I was at.
Right.
Rugby was great there. The people were great there. It was just really small town. If I'm being completely transparent,
Yeah,
wasn't a
sure.
great student. So that also kind of added into it as well. I was like, I don't want to waste money coming here. So then came back, and that was when I decided to coach. And then I don't know, just had a really rough year, I think mentally. So I was just kind
Mhm.
of got checked out, kind of lost myself, and then decided I told my parents, I was like, oh, I think I'm just gonna had a business opportunity open up, and I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna tackle this, just hang
Right.
up the cleats for now, and then I can just that way I can focus on Kanani, Coach Kanani. And
Yeah.
then it was actually in March of 2024, in the middle of the Hawaii season, and when they told me, they were like, I think you shouldn't give up on this. We think you should try it at least one more time before to just to see what happens. Just take a chance.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, I guess. So then found this academy out in Ireland that I heard about, decided to go out there. That an outstanding academy, honestly. Um, Rugby Academy Ireland. It's ran by Dan Van Zyl, and so he is actually a former uh, Springbok. He played back.
Oh,
He played 30 years ago. He's a
wow.
great coach. He was outstanding coach. I think out of all the kids that went into this program, there's about 20 of us. I actually probably had the best experience just because it was almost like I feel like it was almost like a sign that everything was going to end up working out just because everything that I was learning there, like it just so happened that when I came in, I was playing the exact same position as the coach. So Coach Dan was able to help me hands on specifically a lot. And then another cool thing about that academy is they place you with a club out there to play with.
Right.
So they kind of just kind of place you guys around. And I got lucky enough to get he took me to his team that he was coaching, his men's team. So now not only is he's seeing me and helping me every single day, he's seeing me two more times a week than everyone else. He's working specifically with me because I'm in the position that he's coaching. And it's like he's just massively helping my improvement moving forward just because it's I'm being coached so much more by him compared to
Yeah.
everybody else. Uh, so that was a really, really cool experience. I've been very, very grateful for it. He actually had, and after I had come home, he actually had invited me to come back out to Ireland again for a second term. And then
Oh.
as like sort of like a player, but also a coaching assistant in a sense,
Mhm.
sort
Mhm.
of watching all over the people that were also coming in, but also helping him out with logistics and stuff that he needed to get done around the academy as well. So then I come back from Ireland April of I'm trying April of 2024, right? No,
Yeah, I think it
2025.
was
April of
2025,
2025.
right?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
last year. So I come back last April. At this point, this is the first time I think I was ever burnt out with rugby just for a little bit. Because I mean,
Sure.
I'm at this academy from I think it's September to April.
Right.
We're training every single day. Like I'm going to club training twice a week, but and it's a 2 hour commute there and a 2 hour commute back.
Oh, I didn't
So
know
it's like,
that. Holy
yeah,
moly.
that was another thing. So it was like it was a long commute. So I was probably getting back around like 11 o'clock, making dinner really quick with some of my buddies, and then we were just going to bed, getting showered, going to bed around like 12:30, and then we're back up again around 7 or 8.
Wow.
Just doing that for 8 months, and then actually in the last 8 weeks I was there, I played in no in the last 6 weeks I was there, I played 8 games for
Wow.
15s. So that was hectic. Like my
Oh,
body
yeah.
was it was taking a toll on my body. So I was had a great time out there. Came back, I was like, talked to my dad. I was like, I'm just gonna take a break for now. I'm gonna wait till June comes around. Just take this
Right.
next month off, and then I'll get into sevens because that's at that point I was like, I'm still trying to find my way onto Team USA. And it just so happens that as I'm in Ireland, my dad is actually he joins this thing called the Golden Eagles Foundation, which is
Yes.
basically a sponsor club for the USA men's and women's team for sevens. They're really, really cool. I don't think either program would be afloat right now if it wasn't for the aid that they have brought in for us, because all of the proceeds and donations that go into that association come directly to the teams 50-50.
Oh,
So it's
nice.
actually, yeah, it's very, very cool. But so my dad joins this my dad joins this association basically. And so he gets invited to go to these tournaments. So he goes to Vancouver last year and
Okay.
he meets Danny Barrett.
Okay.
For anyone who doesn't know, Danny Barrett is a USA Sevens legend, unreal player. But he's actually basically heading this Golden Eagles Foundation. So they just kind of get to talking. He's showing clips of me in Ireland. He's like, "Oh, this is my son. He plays sevens as well. He's really quick, blah, 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 blah." And so Danny's like, I mean, if he's like, I have a guy that can see if he's the real deal for you. So then
Mhm.
he, so then coming back to present time, I get off this plane end of April. I'm not like, as I'm getting into the car with my parents to go home from Boise Airport, I get a text from this random coach. He's like, he's like, hey, there's a sevens tournament down in LA here next weekend. He's like, would you want to come down and play? He's like, I heard about your contacts from somebody else. They said they wanted me to check you out. So let me see we just want to see what you're about. So I was kind of like, all right, I guess we're going right into this. I mean, I landed on a Tuesday, I think I flew out a week later, flew into LA on a Tuesday night, Tuesday afternoon. And then as soon as I got into my hotel, they picked me up and took me to training. That was the only training I got with the team before we ended up playing.
I didn't know this, man.
Yeah, this was all so crazy. This is what kickstarted everything. Coach Ryan Mattias is actually the coach I'm talking about. He also used to play for the USA 15s and sevens team. And his wife is a USA legend as well. She was an unreal rugby player.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, but so then I get invited to this LA, it's called LA Invitational, which takes place the day before the actual LA tournament starts
Oh, no
for
way.
the seven series. So then I'm just going through the games. I think I only ended up making it through three of them before I ended up getting injured. But in that third game, I had a very, very good game. I mean, I was having a good tournament in general. So
Right.
there's a USA recruiter there watching, Ben Pinkelman, also a USA legend. And so he was brought over after the game. He's like, and Coach Ryan brought him over. He's like, hey, this guy, he's like, I want to introduce you to somebody. This is Ben Pinkelman. He works with USA Pathways. And then so we just kind of got to talking for a little bit. They were asking about my plans for the summer. I was like, oh, just try to figure it out really. And he's like, and then he recommended that I try to stay somewhere in SoCal and play rugby for the
Oh,
summer. I was like,
wow.
okay, I'll figure that out. Whatever. I mean, had broke my hand that tournament, so I was like, got to get this figured out, and then I'll get back to you on where I'm playing. And then went home after the tournament, and then Coach Ryan called me again. He's like, "Hey, I have a rugby club out here that a rugby men's sevens team. He's like, we're gonna make a run for nationals this year. I want you to be a part of that." So then he's like, "I'll
Wow.
cover your house. Like, we'll cover your housing. We'll get you a place to stay. You just got to get out here." And I was like, "Okay, that was gonna be. I mean, I got nothing going on. Might as well." So then that is when as soon as I had that talk with with Pinkelman and Coach Ryan, that was when I kind of decided, all right, I'm going to put my head down and solely focus on sevens moving forward until I get where I want to go.
Wow. Wow. Just hearing your journey, there's certain things I did not know. I knew you were burnout. I remember hearing that, but I didn't realize how close you were to hanging up the cleats either. How do you manage the burnout?
Honestly, I think my burnout had less to do with the game and more to do about my personal life, honestly. Because I mean, at this
Mm,
point, after I had graduated high school, as soon as I graduated, my family moved out here. So I mean, I
mm,
had grown up in Kansas City. All my friends, all my buddies were out there.
right.
Was coming back from college, knew nobody. So it's just like I don't really have much going on. I don't really have friends. Just kind of trying to
Mhm.
find my way out there. Just really struggling to sort of do that, especially since I had just left rugby in college.
Right.
So I think that was more of it because I don't know, I mean, ever since I came back from sort of that little burnout that I had, and my parents sort of told me they wanted me to try again. I haven't stopped playing since. I've been playing for the last 2 years straight, all the way up until
Yeah.
I broke my leg here in Hong Kong. But
Mm,
like, I don't know. I just fell. I mean, I don't know. I fell in love with the game very, very quickly, and I fell in love with the process of everything. So it's just,
yeah.
I got really, really motivated to try to get to where I was going. And then
Yeah.
for me, it just, I mean, yeah, sometimes I'll be tired, like, oh, like
Yeah.
training this or training that or whatever. But I mean, everybody's like that. And it's like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's like I'd rather be there than anywhere else. So
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
I really be complaining about anything?
Man, I love that you shared that, and I appreciate you sharing that. I love how there were people that inspired you, but also just doors that opened up for you. One thing that is a constant for you that I've noticed, and tell me if I'm completely off, is when you get handed a doozy of a trial, you get handed a doozy of a trial. You get on the field in Hong Kong, you're ready to rock and roll. How long did you play before you got injured?
28 seconds.
28 seconds. And again, it's something that you could have never predicted. I can't, the guy grabbed you and then he kind of wrapped your legs or something like that. And I can't,
It was a hip drop tackle, which I mean it's not people don't look at it as like a clean tackle, but
right.
I don't think there's any ill intent in what he was trying to do.
No,
I mean in the
no.
moment, yeah. It's like
Yeah.
in the moment nobody's on the field trying to think like, oh, what's like
Yeah.
the fastest way I can hurt this guy. But
Yeah.
I mean hip drops a tackle, it's banned in the NFL just because it's the amount
Yeah.
of lower body injuries it causes. I mean, people tear their ACLs, they destroy their
Oh,
knees. I mean, tib
yeah.
fib fractures, like it's just a really, really bad tackle in general.
Right.
And in regards to breaking my leg, I got very, very lucky. Like
Yeah.
if you were going to break your leg, what I got was probably one of the best possible case scenarios because it was just my fibula, had
Yeah.
no ligament damage at all. So
Wow.
I mean, I did need surgery just because it was so low to kind of reconnect the ankle
Right.
and the leg in general. Besides the surgery, it was basically the best possible case scenario for breaking my leg.
And that's what I love about you is you are always looking at the bright side of things. There was no grudge, there was no nothing. You just move on and you're doing what's best for you in the game. That's what I appreciate about your attitude. It's just fascinating to see that and hear it from that perspective. So with the injury, what's the next step? You're in full recovery mode, right?
Yeah, as of right now, I am. Yeah,
Then the plans from there are just to get back in training, get back to San Diego. It is San Diego, right? And this,
Chula Vista, bit
oh,
it's a
Chula
bit
Vista.
south, just a
Oh,
little bit south of San Diego. But
yeah,
I don't know. I have a checkup coming up soon, just to sort of just a post-surgery checkup, so they can sort of see where my leg is at. Hopefully, I hear good news from that, and I'll find out basically steps moving forward from there. Like if I'm going to need to be in this splint for a bit longer, or if
yeah,
I'm able to move to a weight-bearing boot, start walking around a bit, that would be really, really nice. But
yeah,
yeah, it's just kind of a waiting game, and depending on what they tell me there,
yeah,
I'll be able to map out the rest of my recovery moving forward from there. Because if
yeah,
they tell me I'm gonna be able to be walking by mid-June. As soon as I'm able to walk, I'm leaving. I'm going straight down. I'm starting rehab, and then I have summer sevens in LA with the same club I was with last year, Eagle Rock.
That's what I love about everything about the Watts family in general. Just a strong resolve, serious resolve. So, wait, what the audience might not know is that Tiave's sister, she's headed to Lindenwood. It's amazing to see her progression as well.
She's a little beast. She's a killer.
Yeah,
She improved very early and very, very fast. And she just kind of took off from there. So I mean
it's
she's a really, really good kid. She's very coachable. So it was
yeah.
very fun being able to coach her that first year. She really started taking it seriously.
She burned us. I mean, bad a couple of times. That reverse play that you ran, awful. I hated it. I have nightmares about that stuff, man.
And that play was our bread and butter that year.
Well, there's a lot of people out there that just wonder where's rugby going right now, and what do you think is vital? Just from your perspective, seeing it from both a national and international level, what do you think is vital for the continued growth of the sport?
Oh my goodness, that is a great question. I don't know. It's something that gets talked about a lot. It's just honestly, realistically, I'm not sure what the planet would be moving forward because it's like
Mhm.
I think I haven't really gone into like the politics about the game or anything like that or
Sure.
like where it's sort of heading. I've kind of only been trying to just focus on where I'm going and trying to get there or how do I get there. And then now that I'm here, I'm just trying to focus on staying here.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like honestly haven't that's not really something I put a lot of thought into yet. So I think I need to think on that probably a little bit more.
No, you're all good. Matter of fact, when you talk the political piece of it, I'm sure your dad could shed a whole lot of light on that one. Yeah.
He's a very
Well,
opinionated person. He's a funny guy.
but we love him. We love him. He's
Yeah.
such a good dude. Well, the other thing too, and this is completely from a training perspective, what do you like best, or what do you prefer? Do you like the conditioning aspect of it from a cardio standpoint, or do you like the stuff that you get down in the nitty-gritty with the strength and such?
Honestly, some of my favorite trainings that we do in Chula are set piece trainings or just our regular skill trainings. Or we have gym integrated skills where we'll do like a superset and then we'll do a set of skills with some of the coaches and then we'll do superset and then we'll just go back and forth between gym and skills. But just having the rugby ball in my hand is honestly what I really, really enjoy because
Yeah,
I like competing. That's the biggest thing. I love to compete. And it's like I love to be able to show other people what I'm capable of,
yeah,
especially once you get out there. That's the hardest thing to deal with. Because I mean,
yeah.
I had been at that point that when I first got out there, I had been to Ireland, I had been to South Africa. I was playing in LA with former USA players, like I'm being coached by former USA players. So it was like by the time I got there, I was thinking, okay, this is like the top of my game. This is the best I've ever been. And it's like the second you step on that field, you are instantly humbled
Yeah.
immediately.
I love that perspective. And the fact is that you welcome it instead of fight against it. Because just you're always learning. And that's one thing that's been obvious since I've known you is you learn from every possible circumstance. And I've appreciated that because that's taught me a lot in the process as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that as well. But it's just that's been something I think that's really cool. And I think it's something that's sort of vital if you want to play the game at a high level. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, it's like high school or like when you're a bit younger, it doesn't matter too much. College, I still wouldn't say it
Yeah.
matters too much. It really just goes back to, I forgot who said it, what basketball player said it, but it really just goes back to that quote where they're like, I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me. It's something that I've never really thought about. Like just some random basketball player, some random player in the NBA. Like the average player in the NBA would is a million times better
Yeah.
than us at basketball. I mean, I'm more like it's like I get there, I'm already playing at like the top of my game. I've been playing the game at a very, very high level. And then I show up and it's like every like there's forwards that are better than me at passing. Most of the backs are better than me at passing. And I'm just like, oh my goodness.
And
I
for
was
you
like,
to say that, that humbles me
yo,
even more because I've seen how you pass, I've seen how you run and such. So that's saying something, man.
yeah, I'll say the speed translated pretty well. I'm definitely not the fastest player on the team. Yeah, Lucas Lecamp is probably the fastest player on the team. That guy's crazy fast.
A
But
freak of nature.
I think the biggest thing is just like the micro skills that they've sort of worked on because I mean once that's another thing that I think is really cool. Once you get to that highest level, that's when the skill gap starts to close, which is kind of what we were just talking about.
Mhm.
Like in
Well,
regards to normal rugby players, it'd be like I mean Perry Baker, one of the best sevens players of all time
yeah,
than the average international player, and then everybody else is down here, like not even close. It's just like that skill gap just slowly closes because it's just the smaller things that people are doing better than you. So it's like
yeah,
the way that they're catching the ball, like how soft they're catching the ball, the like their processing passing, um, their footwork in regards to how many steps they're taking going into the ball and
yeah,
passing it after that. So it's just like there's so many things that they work on. Like they break the game down into such small detail. It's like
yeah.
that's when you start to realize like these are the little tiny things that I need to work on moving forward just to make it to where they are, basically.
Hearing about the micro skills, that's a point, at least in my coaching experience, and it's only been a little bit, and it's largely strength and conditioning, right? I would have never have thought about how much those micro skills as those gaps close are such a game changer. And I appreciate you telling me that because it's an emphasis that I think we sometimes neglect, that we assume will take care of itself when it has to be a very deliberate focus.
Oh no, 100%. I 100% agree with you. Because I mean, obviously everybody knows you're supposed to run onto the ball, like something as small as like running onto the ball and catching it. But
Yeah.
it's just like the even like the small like the details in the way that these players are hitting onto the ball, basically.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
they're not drifting, they're not running, they're coming straight or they're attacking into the ball. So it's just because even something as small as that can freeze a defender for half of a second, which opens up a gap on the outside. So it's just like, and it's, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's something I was pretty, it was probably something I was ignorant to when I first came onto the team, but that was also, I think that was also because the stuff that they were working on micro skill wise were things I had never even heard about in my entire life. It was
Wow.
like, I like the way they were breaking the game down. It's like, I was like, oh my goodness, I don't think I've ever done anything like this. Like, I mean, you're running
Yeah.
the ball, like I said, you're trying to attack into a ball that's flying at you at a
Right.
you're at a very high speed. You're not running slow either. You're probably going around like 70 to 80% of your max speed into this ball. And
Right.
as you're catching it, you're taking a step or two, and then you're immediately flinging it again. So it's like
Right.
just really just honing in on the little details of each bit of that because it sounds so big and grand when you explain it like that, but then it's like you work on these drills for just your footwork or
Yeah.
just catching the ball or just ripping the ball, and then you're slowly just bringing them all together with muscle memory.
I'm jealous. I want to go be a fly on the wall at your training programs just to watch all that stuff. I mean, just these nuggets of wisdom are fantastic.
I know, and I mean, I've only been there for 4 months now.
Yeah.
I think I got down to, I think actually, yeah, 4 months ago was my first day down there. January 20th, I think, was the first day in training for us.
And from that time, you've already been in Hong Kong. You've got that international experience, and now you have a whole bunch to look forward to. I love this, man. I'm just looking at all the different things that you've accomplished. I'm just wondering what play do you love the most?
Oh, I got to say it was that bread and butter that we were running, that we were running that entire season when I was coaching in sevens. The double switch that we were running because it's I mean something that I do think I do think it's pretty amateur play. Like if we try to run that on the if we try to run that on the series, we're getting slapped in the face every single time. It
Yeah,
happens
sure.
probably, but it's like it's that was a play I was running in college, and I mean I was playing for Kutztown Sevens. They're one of the best programs in the nation
Right.
for sevens. They have a great coaching staff over there, and it's like that was a play that it worked really really well. It just always
Right.
did. It's just those like I said, it's just those little things about the matchups and
Yeah.
the execution, the timing of everything. But that is probably like one of my favorite plays that I've ever seen, especially since I got to see Kanani put it into fruition as well with how
Oh
well
yeah.
she used to run it. It
Yeah.
was very, very cool to see how everything sort of worked out there.
Well, last couple question is you talked about your sister. How cool has it been to not only coach your sister but also play with your cousin JT over there? And what does that mean to you from Ohana or family spirit there?
I love it. I mean, not, like obviously I don't think I've actually ever properly played with JT like on from a
Yeah,
team setting,
right.
but just being able to play the game with him to some extent, like even like something as small as touch or
Yeah,
just going to their training sessions and helping them out at training, just seeing how he's improving as well. He's a great player.
he
Just
is.
working with him on some stuff like that, just like some micro skills. It's really, really cool and it's really, really fun to see them both develop at the rate they are dedeveloping.
They
Because I mean,
love it.
JT was never taking rugby very seriously until I think around the same time I was, around a year and a half ago. I mean, he went to play with the St. Louis Bombers a couple this last summer. I think he's planning on doing it again this summer. And that is a very very well renowned sevens team
Right.
in regards to men's club in the states. Like they're easily one of the best. They're top 10 team in the nation when it comes to that
Wow.
regard. He's been able to improve massively there as well.
Just a powerful dude too, man. Just a powerful kid.
He's quick. He actually had the same injury I did last year, but his was a lot worse.
Oh, I remember
He got
that.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
remember
he got
that.
hip dropped and then he broke his tibia and his fibula. And I think he had a little
Oh,
bit of ligament damage too. I actually don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure if he did, but his
yeah.
recovery was a while. I don't think he was healthy for
Yeah.
6 months. something
Yeah,
like that.
it was a while, man. It was a while. I was talking to his father about that, and just John was not too pleased with that. That's for sure. Well, last question: what equipment can you not go without?
Honestly, I think that the only thing I really can say is my boots. Those that's like the only thing I really wear all the time. Like I honestly I don't wear a mouthpiece very much, which is honestly probably why I keep having concussion issues. I think I need to actually start wearing a mouthpiece. But it's just like, I haven't found the right one for me yet. Just like
Sure.
some of them are too bulky, so it feels like you can't breathe. I also
Yeah.
talk a lot on the field, especially, oh my gosh, in sevens, the communication skills that you have to have when you're
Yep.
trying to defend
Oh
a
yeah.
team over the entire length of the field is you have to be
Oh,
talking all the time. I hate
oh,
talking with something in my mouth. It just bothers me. So it's just I don't think I've worn a mouthpiece in a game for the last 5 years.
holy Hannah. You're a brave one, man. I'm always paranoid, man.
No,
Always
I definitely don't.
paranoid.
I definitely do not recommend it. It's just it's a bad habit that I need to get out of because, like I said, I think I mean I've had a lot of concussions.
Right,
Obviously,
right.
obviously self-diagnosed at that point because it's like I'm
Sure.
the last thing you want to do is go into a doctor for a concussion and they're like, oh yeah, you can't play rugby for a month and a half. I'm like, you're a
Yeah.
joke, dude. I'm not doing that.
I think that's something innate in any rugby player, though. Just,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm going to go.
yeah.
I'm going to keep on going, man.
And every single time I have to fill out some sort of medical form or I'm talking with new trainers and like, have you had, or how many concussions have you had in the past? I'm always like, diagnosed or undiagnosed? And they're like, diagnosed. I was like, one. Undiagnosed, probably around six.
Yeah, no, it's just a hard line to really skirt around, man. Just well, that I'm sure that's definitely some a topic for another discussion down the road. But I just wanted to thank you for taking the time to do this. I know you're always busy, man. Always busy, and but I just wanted to hear the story, hear your story, and more importantly, share it because it's quite the journey, and just to see all the ups and downs and to make that okay. It's just part of the game, man.
100%. Definitely something I'm still working through. The mental side of this is, I mean, this is definitely the hardest injury I've had. I mean, I've broken my collarbone, I've broken my hand, but this is definitely the most mentally and physically taxing one that I've had just because I mean, you can't walk, you can't
Yeah.
do anything. You have to I'm hauling myself around on crutches all the time. I mean, it gets like you get up and then you start moving on the crutches and then you're tired again. So it's like, oh my goodness. I just want to go back and lay down again. But I mean, it's still something I'm working through. I think I'll be good. Just
Yeah.
just waiting to get this thing off my leg, honestly.
Oh, well, Tiave, thank you for your time. And I am looking forward to seeing what you're going to be doing here. It's going to be fantastic, man. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, Mo. I mean, it's great to talk to you. So, I mean, obviously, there's a lot more to the story than what we talked about, but it was good to give you a little bit of insight on what I have been able to see and do with the game so far.